Kerry's saying he never said it. State Department is saying, well, even if he did,
it was known information.
It was known information. Zarif said he was extremely surprised, and shocked. What was the word he used? I don't have it in front of me. But basically, this was mind-boggling that Kerry was saying this. That would indicate if the conversation was, it was on the up and up.
Right.
If it wasn't a planted conversation, again, always looking at every possibility, that he didn't know about it, which means it wasn't public knowledge.
To his astonishment.
Astonishment, yes.
He was astonished.
Astonished by it. So there's still a heck of a lot more to work through in this particular story.
Well,
that Republicans are going to pound on.
Yeah, because if he was astonished by it, I don't know why officials here in the U.S. would even comment at all on it, because, I don't know, assume that it was rumored or that it was information at the time, but you had again, the former Secretary of State. If that's when it happened, we still don't know the timing of it. That confirmed that information to Zarif, at the very least, based on classified information. So again, this is not good. Not good for the U.S., certainly not good for Iran, but the truth has to come out, and I think it will be sooner than later.
This hour's news is brought to you by Travel Centers of America, home of world-blend coffee, the freshest roast on the road.
This is Red Eye Radio on Westwood One.
Miss a show? Listen anywhere, anytime, on demand to catch up on Eric and Gary's topics of the day. Visit RedEyeRadioshow.com and click on demand.
Howdy, Homer Hawk here, Director of Technical Service at TA Truck Service. It's that time again. International Road Check is May 4th through 6th. This year's event will focus on 2 categories, hours of service and lighting. So be sure you're adhering to safety regulations. And make sure your lighting devices are in good shape. That includes proper color, operation, mounting, and visibility. Prepare for a level 1 roadside inspection. Stop by TA Truck Service from April 1st through May 2nd for a free mid-trip inspection, which includes a quick review of key items the DOT officer will inspect. With our highly qualified technicians and wide range of parts on hand, we're able to perform the repairs needed to get your truck inspection ready. TA Truck Service, more bays, more expertise, and more solutions.
TA Metro, full service means at your service.
You didn't become a trucker for the accolades. You did it because you love the open road. Those beautiful mountain passes, boundless deserts, and bustling cityscapes help make it all worth it. So make the open road last longer with Shell Rotella synthetic engine oils, designed to provide longer drain intervals compared to conventional engine oils. Wherever the journey takes you, be ready with Shell Rotella. Shell Rotella, the engine oil that works as hard as you.
If you're a trucking industry professional, then you need to stay on top of changing regulations, equipment upgrades, and technology advancements. Fleet Owner Magazine gives you all of this and more. Written for fleet executives and managers, Fleet Owner gives you the business intelligence on operations, vehicle maintenance, regulations, and information technology you need to stay ahead. But that's not all. With its monthly print publication, daily and weekly email newsletters, and a website updated several times a day, Fleet Owner has all the latest news and information delivered to you when you want it and where you want it. From industry experts to award-winning writers and columnists, Fleet Owner is the #1 source for trucking information in North America. Remember to visit fleetowner.com every day for the latest industry news. You can also sign up to receive Newsline, their free email newsletter, and subscribe to Fleet Owner Magazine. Visit fleetowner.com. Fleet Owner, for news you can use.
Man, have you heard about TransportationNation.com?
What's TransportationNation.com?
TransportationNation.com is trucking's first news and entertainment website, like Netflix. You can watch brand new, original trucking shows and videos made just for us truckers, and you won't find it anywhere else. All of TransportationNation.com's trucking shows and videos are on demand, so you can watch whenever you want. All you have to do is sign up and start watching. Plus, it's free.
That's perfect. I'm going to go check out TransportationNation.com right now.
News Radio 1440, the home of the University of Alabama baseball. Also heard on 95.1 HD3 WLWI.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Dell Small Business.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez, fully vaccinated and still masked. We're expecting new guidelines from the federal government today. Dr. Anthony Fauci.
What we're going to be doing through the CDC is soon, very soon, clarifying the situation vis-a-vis masks in vaccinated versus unvaccinated people.
I'm Peter King in Orlando. Seminole County, just northeast of here, has had a mask mandate for nearly a year, but County Commissioner Amy Lockhart wants to end it in early June.
We're adults, and people are smarter than I think local government is giving them credit.
She says the high number of vaccinations makes the mandate unnecessary. Instead, she wants the county to encourage mask wearing and allow families and business owners to decide for themselves. Dozens of people are expected to speak before the county commission votes on it today.
In Elizabeth City, North Carolina, protests over the police shooting death of Andrew Brown Jr. Family members say they were allowed to see just 20 seconds of police body cam video.
It's like we against all odds in this world. My dad got executed just by trying to save his own life.
Lawyers say sheriff's deputy shot Brown in the back of the head while he was trying to back out of his driveway with his hands on his car's steering wheel. As sheriffs tried to serve a drug-related warrant. There's a global call for the U.S. to be prosecuted over another police shooting death.
The report by an international commission formed after the George Floyd killing claims there are two police systems in America, one for white people and one for black and minority Americans. Instead of the work of a few bad apples or rogue cops, the authors argue the killings, taserings, and beatings are the product of systemic racism in American policing and should be prosecuted as such. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
President Biden wants to make sure people who work on federal contracts make enough to live on. He'll issue an executive order today calling for everyone from maintenance to cafeteria workers be paid a $15 an hour minimum wage. A day after Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt signed 3 anti-abortion bills into law, Planned Parenthood's Gloria Pedro is speaking out.
Abortion is a critical component of comprehensive reproductive health care, and everyone deserves to have access to the health care they need without interference from politicians.
Abortion providers in Oklahoma would lose their medical licenses for performing the procedure. Want to cook up a hearty dinner?
First, I'm going to start with the meatballs since they take a little bit longer.
If you're looking for a beefy recipe, skip Epicurious. Condé Nast's website will not include new recipes, that is, that call for red meat. The publisher points out livestock causes about 15% of Earth's greenhouse gases. This is CBS News.
Dell Technologies advisors listen to your small business needs so they can provide you with tailored solutions powered by Intel vPro platform. Call today, 877-ASK-DELL.
Do you check your Google search results regularly? You should. People often get their first impression of you or your business online. Negative comments on the internet can impact your life and your livelihood. Take control of your online reputation. Get your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com. It may reveal negative posts from an ex-employee, upset patient or client, news article, legal issue, or even exposed personal information right there in your Google search results. Uncover what's lurking on the internet about you with reputationdefender.com's patented scan and get your free reputation report card. Or for immediate assistance with your reputation, call 800-401-6681. Our cutting-edge technology helps make your Google search results look their best. Call 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681. 800-401-6681. Or take the free scan at reputationdefender.com.
Who's listening to what? And where?
Apple Music, the streaming service, has launched daily music charts in some cities around the world, so you can find out what people in Chicago are playing. Today it's Trap Star by Polo G. In Budapest, it's Lil Nas X and Montero. Apple City charts feature the top 25 songs on each local chart. They're based on the number of plays in the particular city, and there are charts for more than 100 cities. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News, Chicago.
California water officials have ordered Nestle to stop siphoning millions of gallons of water from the San Bernardino National Forest east of LA and selling it as its Arrowhead brand. Environmental groups argue the water pipeline harms the spring-fed Strawberry Creek and the plants and animals that depend on it. An investigation found the U.S. Forest Service was allowing Nestle to take the water using an expired permit. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Depression is a daily battle, but there is a new weapon to help you fight depression: transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS. TMS is an innovative FDA-approved therapy for patients with severe depression. TMS is non-invasive and not a drug. It is a safe, effective in-office procedure designed to activate natural functions in your brain's neurotransmitters. Find out if TMS is right for you. Contact IVH of Montgomery at 256-975-4162 or log on ivhus.com.
It's a podcast about money, but Stacking Benjamins not only has great financial insight, it's laid back with humor too.
People are afraid to sell their house because they're afraid they won't get another one.
There's just nothing for sale in our neighborhood. Where would we go? I'd love to sell somebody this dump for twice what I paid for it. Suckers!
The whole market is locked. Interest rates have nowhere to go, but you got to refinance. I get in line now because who knows how long it's going to take.
Listen and subscribe to Stacking Benjamins on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your shows.
He is the voice of the conservative millennials.
The president is going to have to stand fast.
The Ben Shapiro Show.
They're not going to be willing to keep the government shut down.
Monday afternoon at 3 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
Your WSFA First Alert Weather Forecast on News Radio 1440.
Very warm temperatures for the next 3 days and staying dry. Today will start in the mid and upper 50s. Will be partly cloudy today. There will be more sun than clouds overall, but we'll have a little more cloud cover than we did on Monday. Temperatures up around 85 or so. 85 or 86 should do it for Wednesday and Thursday as well. Partly cloudy Wednesday after a cloudy morning. And then for Thursday, partly cloudy as well. Again, we're dry until a chance of rain and storms for Friday. That's your First Alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Right now, things are looking good. Your Tuesday kicks off with no major problems or accidents. Interstate systems moving smoothly into and through the Tri-County area from Clanton, Albany, Greenville. No problems on Highway 80 coming in from Selma and 231 south out of Wetumpka, north out of Troy. Still light traffic. Shopping is festive at Festival Plaza. Visit the Comic Shop, Montgomery Cardiovascular Health and Fitness Center, and more. Festival Plaza, Taylor and Vaughn, another great McClinton and Company development. Buckle up front and back. It's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
For all your auto maintenance and repair needs, Chico's knows. Chico's Auto Pros now offers a full-service automotive center. Call Chico's today at 239-9510. Chico's knows.
Good morning. I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News. Today marks 10 years since a deadly tornado outbreak devastated Alabama. More than 200 Alabamians died that day, and we want to remind you about our special hearing tonight. It's entitled April 27th, The Unforgotten Tragedy. We'll take a look back at one of the worst tornado outbreaks in Alabama history. You can watch that tonight at 7 right here on WSFA 12 News. A special runoff election will be held today in Montgomery to fill the open District 3 City Council seat. Marsha Johnson will face Adrienne Larkin to fill a seat vacated when her husband Tracy Larkin died in January. We have candidate and local polling information in this story on the WSFA 12 News app. And President Biden is expected to announce new federal mask guidance today. There are expected to be some recommendations for those who are vaccinated and those who are not. That's the news for now. I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News.
What would make your mom feel like the number one mom? A trip to the spa, cleaning services for a year, an epic shopping spree, a much-needed vacation? Enter to win the Mother's Day giveaway, and you will have the chance to win $5,000 so you could get your mom the ultimate Mother's Day prize. She'll feel like the number one mom. Just head to our website now. Enter for your chance to win $5,000 for the mom in your life. Go to newsradio1440.com. Brought to you locally by Sync Chiropractic.
Do you have pain in your neck? What about back pain, headaches, sciatica? You're in pain and you know something is off, but you just ignore it. The hard part is living with pain. The easy part is making an appointment with Zinc Chiropractic and finding relief. Doctors Tom and Yolanda Zink at Zinc Chiropractic Center provide all natural chiropractic care. They will make you feel comfortable and explain everything in advance. Think Chiropractic, think Zinc. On Taylor Road between East Chase and Vaughn Road. Walk-ins are always welcome.
Hello, I'm a unicorn. Yes, one of those. Everyone's trying to find me, but most can't, unless they're ZipRecruiter. If you've hired before, you understand it's quite hard to find a unicorn. You know, someone who's perfect for your role, but somehow ZipRecruiter manages to do it fast. Talk about magical. And right now, you can go to ZipRecruiter.com/trial to try it for free. ZipRecruiter's technology finds candidates with the right experience, like me, and actively invites them to apply to your job. ZipRecruiter knows you want more than just great resumes. You want brilliant people who can help your business shine. That's why they make hiring these people easy. Woo! Don't take my word for it. Listen to him.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
If you are a sales professional looking for a new and exciting opportunity, listen up. Your next career in media sales is waiting for you. Cumulus Media has immediate openings in our sales department for experienced, hard-working account executives. You'll work closely with clients to meet their particular needs, from radio advertising to state-of-the-art digital campaigns. Sound like the perfect job for you? Call General Manager Don Polno today at 334-240-2257. Cumulus Media is an equal opportunity employer.
Everything in American Oak and Moore's inventory catalog and special orders is 50% off the top tag price. That's right, half off. Living room, dining room, bedroom, home office, and outdoor. Interest-free financing available. Hurry, sale ends soon. Mattress accessories and cozy excluded.
I've been in Sam for over 25 years.
You don't pay fake money, so don't sell with fake wood.
Good morning, Alabama.
How'd you sleep last night? Maybe it's time to purchase a new mattress from Wolf Boys Bedding, where we don't want to just sell you a mattress, we want to teach you how to buy the right mattress to improve your life. Shop the Better Sleep Sale going on now at Wolf Boys Bedding, with queen mattress sets for $4.99, twin as low as $99, and Alabama-made bunk beds for $2.99. Plus, for a limited time, receive up to $1,000 off on qualifying Jameson mattress sets. Interest-free financing available. Don't count sheep, get a good night's sleep from Wolf Boys Bedding next to American Oak and More.
If you're worried about your hard-earned dollars becoming worthless or your 401k or IRA losing value, now is the time to move into gold. No, not gold or silver stocks. For real gold and silver, you can actually hold in your hands. How do you get real gold and silver? By calling Oxford Gold today at 833-600-GOLD. The Oxford Gold Group will teach you everything you need to know about owning real gold and silver. It's a lot easier than you think. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now at 833-600-GOLD to get your free gold and silver investment guide. Put your savings and retirement accounts into something real, like gold and silver. Get your free Oxford Gold Group investment guide today and learn how easy it is to have real gold and silver delivered to your home, or how you can have real gold and silver in your retirement account. Don't sit back and watch your savings in a retirement account suffer. Now is the time to make your money work as hard for you as you did for your money. So do this. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now, today, 833-600-GOLD. That's 833-600-GOLD.
The Rush Limbaugh Show.
And these people look absolutely pathetic.
After Rick and Bubba, it's the EIB Network at 11 a.m. And it's only on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
And good morning, Montgomery, Alabama. It's time to rise and shine once again, if you can. Good morning to you. I'm Kevin Elkins, and this is News Radio 1440. Happy Tuesday to you. It is time for our daily bread, a word from on high, a different perspective, as it were. And of course, our daily bread is brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage and Loans Incorporated, because there's a difference in mortgage companies. And call Kim Williams and Madeline and the gang up there in Wetumpka, and they will show you the difference. Okay. As a matter of fact, I do all my Anytime I want to refinance my house, that's the place I go to all the time. No exception. We'll be back after this message from our sponsor with our daily bread.
Alabama is a state deeply rooted in military tradition, and we at Alabama Home Mortgage appreciate the sacrifices that our men and women in uniform make each and every day. I'm Kim Williams, and I'm here to tell you there is a difference in mortgage companies. Don't be fooled by mortgage companies with veteran in their name. Call the mortgage company with veterans in their blood. The entire Alabama Home Mortgage staff are children of military veterans. We understand what it means to serve. If you're looking for a VA loan, call Alabama Home Mortgage 567-4223. With a VA loan, there's no money out of pocket, 100% financing. There's simply nothing better than a VA mortgage loan. Ella, tell them what to do.
Call my mom, Kim Williams, at 567-4223. That's 567-4223.
That's right. Or visit us online at alahomemortgage.com. That's alahomemortgage.com to get your VA home loan today. NMLS 1586-36A, Equal Housing Lender.
Sometimes you need to reset, refocus on your day. The moment where you take a deep breath and change the focus from the problem to the problem solver. This is Decisions with Kevin Elkins.
And good morning, Montgomery, Alabama. It is time to rise and shine if you can. It is time for our daily bread. It is April the 27th. Our daily bread today is entitled Learning from Foolishness. And the today's scriptural insight comes from Ecclesiastes 10, 1 through 14. But Ecclesiastes 10, 2 to 3 says, the heart of the wise inclines to the right, but the heart of the fool to the left. Even as fools walk along the road, they lack sense. Govern yourselves accordingly. Again, it is April the 27th, 2021 AD. It is a day that has never been, and it is a day that shall never, ever come again. And once it's gone, you don't get a do-over. You don't get to bring it back. You don't get to summon it from the past. But more importantly, you don't get to do again what you should have done yesterday. And you don't get to undo the things that you did. So whatever it is that you do this day, make sure that if tomorrow should be, you'll be proud of what you have done on this day. There's no doubt in my mind, if you've been around a while, you've seen and heard many yesterdays. And if we are blessed and given the grace of God and a lot of mercy thrown in, we may, I'm not sure, but we may see some tomorrows. But if tomorrow should never be, then it is this day. That is the first day of the rest of your life. What are you going to do with it? Well, whatever you do, reach back and help somebody else along the way. Benjamin Elijah Mays once said, and I say it every morning because it's true, whatever you do in life, you should do it so well that no man living, no man dead, and no man yet to be born can do it any better. And I say if that is the standard of how you live life, you shall always be successful. Oh, you may fail at a thing or two, but failure sometimes is a great place to start again. But you're not a failure until you quit. We say give out if you must, rest only if you can, but you never, ever give up. Because winners don't quit. And quitters, well, they never win. And like I say, sometimes the mountains are so high you can't get over them. Sometimes they're so wide you can't get around them. And sometimes the valley is so deep you can't go under it. Well, when you can't go over it, you can't go around it, and you can't go under it, sometimes you got to man up and go through them. But you don't, whatever you do, you don't let the mountain stop you. You never ever quit. You never give up. Because quitters don't win. And winners, oh, they may fail at a thing or two. but you are never a loser until you quit. I often say when you quit, you insult God. You say, God, I don't think you can help me with this. Then it probably starts storming rain right there, because he that made all can handle your little problem. Sometimes, though, you have to get down on your knees and ask for the help. And no matter what happens on this day, April the 27th, 2021, and no matter how tough it seems, it is still today like it was of days of old. A great day to be alive. Learning from foolishness. That is our daily bread for today, April the 27th, 2021 AD.
Hey friends, welcome to another word of encouragement from our daily bread. Our devotional for today is titled Learning from Foolishness, and it was written by Con Campbell. A man walked into a convenience store in Wollongong, Australia, and put a $20 bill on the counter and asked for change. When the clerk opened the cash drawer, the man pulled a gun and asked for all the cash in the register, which the clerk promptly provided. The man took the cash from the clerk and fled, leaving the $20 bill on the counter. The total amount of cash he got from the drawer? $15. We all act foolishly at times, even if, unlike this thief, we're trying to do the right thing. The key is how we learn from our foolish behavior. Without correction, our poor choices can become habits, which will negatively shape our character. We'll become fools who lack sense. Sometimes it's hard to admit our foolishness because of the extra work it requires. Perhaps we need to reflect on a particular character flaw, and that's painful. Or maybe we need to admit that a decision was made hastily, and next time we should take more care. Whatever the reason, it never pays to ignore our foolish ways. Thankfully, God can use our foolishness to discipline and shape us. Discipline isn't pleasant at the time, but its training yields good fruit in the long run. Let's accept our Father's discipline for our foolish behavior and ask Him to make us more like the sons and daughters He intends us to be. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is taken from Ecclesiastes, chapter 10, verses 1 through 14. As dead flies give perfume a bad smell, so a little folly outweighs wisdom and honor. The heart of the wise inclines to the right, but the heart of the fool to the left. Even as fools walk along the road, they lack sense and show everyone how stupid they are. If a ruler's anger rises against you, do not leave your post. Calmness can lay great offenses to rest. There is an evil I have seen under the sun, the sort of error that arises from a ruler. Fools are put in many high positions, while the rich occupy the low ones. I have seen slaves on horseback, while princes go on foot like slaves. Whoever digs a pit may fall into it. Whoever breaks through a wall may be bitten by a snake. Whoever quarries stones may be injured by them. Whoever splits logs may be endangered by them. If the axe is dull and its edge unsharpened, more strength is needed, but skill will bring success. If a snake bites before it is charmed, the charmer receives no fee. Words from the mouth of the wise are gracious, but fools are consumed by their own lips. At the beginning, their words are folly. At the end, they are wicked madness. And fools multiply words. No one knows what is coming. Who can tell someone else what will happen after them? Let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for using our foolishness to teach us to be wise. As you chisel away at all of the foolish ways in us, we pray that discipline and intentionality will help us to do away with the silly things that we so often do. May we learn to walk in wisdom and grace as we humble ourselves before you. Thank you, Lord Jesus. It's in your name that we pray. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
All right. And now we pay homage to all of our armed forces of these United States. And to everybody that goes in when everybody else is running out. Montgomery Police Department, Montgomery Fire Department. Come on, Chief Jordan, Chief Finley. And we don't agree on everything, but I still like you. Most of the time, anyway. And don't forget my friends at Montgomery Sanitation Department, Montgomery Maintenance Department, because when I'm headed to work, they headed to work. And you know, I got this one policeman thought he got me this morning coming down Madison, but I saw him. Yeah, I saw him. I slowed down. Yeah, it didn't get me this morning either. I mean, I'm sure one of these mornings they'll probably get me, but not yet. That's why I leave home early, okay? Just in case you didn't know it, this is the United States Coast Guard. The United States Air Force. Good morning, Maxwell and Gunner. It's time to rise and shine. And last but certainly not least, USMC. Good morning, Jarheads. Semper Fi. Well. They say a well is kind of deep. I bet it is. Anyway, good morning to you. It is Tuesday morning. It's election day in Montgomery. One more time, and we got a couple more to go. So we just keep rolling to the polls, and one of these days we'll get it right. Running ever since. It's been a long, long time. Oh yeah, I love this song. But what? What's going to happen? Oh, yes, it will. Oh, yes, it will. Oh, yeah. All right, anyway, good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine, people. Vote day right here in Montgomery, Alabama. We got a lot of things. Now, I've got one particular subject today I want to talk about, and it is going to show I think a clash between cultures. Nothing bad, but I do think it deserves some conversation. We really have a conversation about this particular subject, but we need to have it because I'm the only guy that can have this conversation. So we're going to have this conversation today. At least I'm going to try to have this conversation anyway, and I'm going to bring in all my Facebook folks on some comments that they made over last night while I was sitting there dreaming of lollipops and all kind of things. I had a dream one day. I was sitting home. I had a dream one day. What was I doing? I was sitting home at one of the rare times I can remember with my whole family, and we were actually having fun. You ever had those kind of dreams? I don't know, a long time ago though, but maybe that's God's way of talking to you. Sometimes you just gotta pay attention. Anyway, we'll take a break and we'll come back with Today in History and all kinds of things going on this hour. You know how I roll. Well, I'm rolling that way today too, so we'll be back.
First alert weather forecast.
And I don't know what's out there.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. With Indeed Instant Match, you can accelerate the hiring process. Just sponsor a job, and you'll get a list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Fast hiring, no speeding tickets. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Very warm temperatures for the next 3 days and staying dry. Today will start in the mid and upper 50s. Will be partly cloudy today. There will be more sun than clouds overall, but we'll have a little more cloud cover than we did on Monday. Temperatures up around 85 or so. 85 or 86 should do it for Wednesday and Thursday as well. Partly cloudy Wednesday after a cloudy morning. And then for Thursday, partly cloudy as well. Again, we're dry until a chance of rain and storms for Friday.
That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Savory for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. The good news continues. Your Tuesday holds no major problems or accidents. We checked with the surrounding counties. They're still reporting clear as well. Take a look at your traffic flow map. No major problems or slowdowns. That's always good news. You keep listening, and we will keep you posted with the latest and the most accurate traffic conditions on the radio. Reinhardt Collision Center is looking for an auto body technician to keep up with demand. To apply, call 213-1216 and become part of the team. That's 213-1216. Reinhardt Toyota Lexus. Buckle up. It's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
For all your auto maintenance and repair needs, Chico's knows. Chico's Auto Pros now offers a full-service automotive center. Call Chico's today at 239-9510. Chico's knows.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
Have you wanted to speak a new language, but thought it would be too difficult? Then try Babbel. Babbel starts by teaching you words and phrases that gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations. So in 15 minutes a day, you'll be speaking a new language in a few weeks. Babbel is built around real life. It teaches you practical conversations that you will actually use. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to babbel.com today. That's BABBEL.com.
Montgomery and Prattville. Matt Parsley here from Budget Car and Truck Sales. Did you miss me? I've been wondering, if you miss a payment on a Tesla, does it drive itself back to the bank? So if you hate the car you're driving, is your current payment too much? Do you owe too much on your trade? Come see me and spring into savings. I'm paying up to $4,000 more for all trade-ins. No matter who you bought it from, no matter how much you owe, I'm paying up to $4,000 more for all trade-ins. Better yet, you could buy with just $1 down. $1 down. And if your credit doesn't shine, you're going to be fine. My perfect payment plan works, and it helps you drive a car you
If
love.
your credit don't shine,
$4,000 more for your
you're
trade-in.
gonna
A
be
car you
fine.
love, and
I like
a car
that.
with just
I like
$1 down. But hurry, these deals won't last long. Did you miss us? I'm Matt Parsley. I'm your dealer for the people. See all these rides at our new website, buybudgetonline.com. That's buybudgetonline.com. Credited $1 down. If you're worried about your hard-earned dollars becoming worthless or your 401k or IRA losing value, now is the time to move into gold. No, not gold or silver stocks. For real gold and silver, you can actually hold in your hands. How do you get real gold and silver?
I don't
By
know.
calling Oxford Gold today at 833-600-GOLD. The Oxford Gold Group will teach you everything you need to know about owning real gold and silver. It's a lot easier than you think. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now at 833-600-GOLD to get your free gold and silver investment guide. Put your savings and retirement accounts into something real, like gold and silver. Get your free Oxford Gold Group investment guide today and learn how easy it is to have real gold and silver delivered to your home, or how you can have real gold and silver in your retirement account. Don't sit back and watch your savings and retirement account suffer. Now is the time to make your money work as hard for you as you did for your money. So do this. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now, today, 833-600-GOLD. That's 833-600-GOLD.
Many of the locally owned and operated restaurants you love are staying open to serve you during this difficult time. To find a list of these restaurants, visit newsradio1440.com. Eat local and help our local businesses stay open.
I remember when I lost my mind.
It is a great day to be alive. All right, then, let me take this one call here like I don't know who it is, but I know who it is. That's okay. Good morning. I'm doing fine. Now, don't mess it up for me, though. Did I say anything about saying anything about? I told you. I didn't say God. I said you. Don't mess it up for me. Now you throw what you do is you throw God in there a little bit right before you smack around somebody. That's what you do. But I ain't mad at you. Now, don't get me wrong. You talk smart stuff to people, but you got the Bible in there, so you good. Okay. Well, God can do that because He's God. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. Anyway, what's on your mind, Ed? What's on your mind? And I cannot answer that. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Mm.
God, well, you definitely ain't gonna believe that Jesus Christ is God's son, you know. That's all I'm trying to say. And have a good day, my friend.
All right, Miss Shado. I think I understand a little bit of that anyway. Anyway, good morning to you. It's 6:39 in the morning for those who care. Lessons of life today. One of the lessons, there are many attributes that we carry with us. There are many personality traits that we have within our own being. But one of the attributes of life, one of the attributes of personality should be humility. And so today's lesson of life is always, at least the best you can, always try to be humble. Okay. No sense in going around telling everybody all the things you got and all the things you've done, because somebody said in that good book that Ed talked about says, if you get your reward on earth, then there's no reason to get to heaven. So humble, humility, that is the lesson of life today. Practice it as much as you can. Be humble. Okay. The word of the day. Now, you guys, we actually have the word of the day means a period of time in the past that was idealistically happy and peaceful. Now, we have a community in Montgomery named after this word. And when I read this the other day, I said, that's interesting. And if you think about it, when I go out to this particular neighborhood, it does remind me of a period of time when things were idealistically happy and peaceful, because it's always peaceful out there. And yes, so the word seems to fit this particular community in Montgomery. But I found it somewhat ironic that this word came up on my Richter scale and said, but anyway, the word is halcyon. Halcyon means a period of time in the past that was idealistically happy and peaceful. Boy, and you think about it, you go out to Halcyon, it's a nice area. I mean, it really is nice and peaceful out there. It really is nice. Okay, obviously I don't live in Halcyon, but what an interesting word. It is April the 27th. It is the 117th day of this year. And these are some of the things that happened on this day. It was April the 27th, 1978. 51 construction workers plunged to their death when a scaffold inside a cooling tower in Pleasant Power Station site in West Virginia fell 168 feet to the ground. Wow. Where was I at then? Don't remember that one. In 1521, Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan was killed by natives in the Philippines. In 1791, the inventor of the telegraph, Samuel Morse, where we got Morse code, just in case anybody wanted to know that's where that word came from. Samuel Morse was born in Charlestown, Massachusetts. The year was 1865. The steamer Sultana, carrying free Union prisoners of war, exploded in the Mississippi River near Memphis, Tennessee. The death toll estimates put it anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 people. That's why I wasn't so crazy about no boat. You understand what I'm saying? Too many people on them boats. 1941, German forces occupied Athens during World War II. In 1950, British formally recognized the State of Israel. The year was 1965. Broadcast journalist Edward R. Murrow died in Paulding, New York. He was just 57 years old. 1968, Vice President Hubert H. Humphrey declared his candidacy for the Democratic nomination for President of the United States. Less than a month after President Lyndon Baines Johnson said he would not seek and would not accept their nomination. In 1978, convicted White House defender John D. Ehrlichman was released from the Arizona prison after serving 18 months. In 1982, the trial of John W. Hinckley, who shot 4 people, including President Ronald Reagan, began in Washington. The trial ended with Hinckley's acquittal by reason of insanity. And just in case you want to know, the first time the first successful acquittal by reason of insanity happened in 1859 in the United States. Just couldn't remember who it was. 1992, a new Federal Republic of Yugoslavia was proclaimed in Belgrade by the Republic of Serbia and its lone ally, Montenegro. Okay. Russia and 12 other Soviet republics won entry into the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. Betty Boothroyd became the first female Speaker of the House of Commons in Britain. In 2006, construction began on a 1,776-foot Freedom Tower at the site of what once was the World Trade Center in New York City. In 2011, powerful tornadoes raked the South and Midwest. And according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, more than 120 twisters resulted in 316 deaths. In Alabama, we had, I believe, about, I read it the other, I think about 224 people were killed. Okay, that was a terrible time. 10 years ago, a 23-month-old Mexico City toddler died at a Texas Children's Hospital in Houston, becoming the first swine flu death on U.S. soil. A strong earthquake struck central Mexico, rattling nerves among residents already tense from the swine flu outbreak. One of the President Barack Obama's Air Force One jets, a Boeing 747 and an F-16 fighter jet, panicked New Yorkers as they circled over Manhattan. Okay, circle over Manhattan. Well, that would scare me too. Okay, that would. Okay, and the Statue of Liberty for what turned out to be a photo op. General Motors announced plans to cut 21,000 hourly jobs and scrap the Pontiac brand. I used to have a Pontiac Le Mans, I mean, it was all beat up and everything, but it beat walking back in the day. 5 years ago, two 20th century popes who changed the course of the Roman Catholic Church became saints as Pope Francis honored John the 23rd and John Paul II. Emeritus Pope Benedict XIV joined him in the first celebration of Mass by serving and retired pontiff of the church's 2,000-year history. In a rare acknowledgement, Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas called the Nazi Holocaust the most heinous crime of modern history. A tornado tore through parts of Arkansas, killing 16 people. Lydia Ko birdied the final hole for her third LPGA Tour victory. And she was the first professional, of course, in the inaugural swinging of the inaugural swinging skirts LPGA Classic 3 days after celebrating her 17th birthday. Okay, I'm with you. 1 year ago, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un made history by crossing over to South Korea to meet with President Moon Jae-in. It was the first time a member of the Kim dynasty had set foot in southern soil since the end of the Korean War in 1953. The Republican-led House Intelligence Committee released a lengthy report concluding that it had found no evidence that Donald John Trump's campaign colluded with the Russians. We know who colluded with the Russians, and that was the Hillary Clinton and those guys. But you'll never hear that. Okay, except right here. In the 2016 presidential campaign, the members of the Swedish pop supergroup ABBA announced a year ago that they had recorded new material for the first time in 35 years. Okay, so I guess I'll find out what they wrote. Remember ABBA? Dancing Queen. Okay, don't worry about it. You probably don't remember. Don't worry about it. I just thought I'd bring that back to you. Okay. And today, anyway, those are some of the things that happened on this day. Today, there's a runoff election that's going to decide Montgomery City Council members for District Number 3. Voters will go to the polls today, starting in about 10 minutes. As a matter of fact, for the city council representative, the seat was vacant since longtime councilman Tracy Larkin died in January after an extended illness. Voters will choose between Marcia Johnson and Adrian Larkin. Army veteran and community advocate Johnson, who lost to Tracy Larkin in 2019, secured 39% of the votes on March 23rd. Adrian Larkin, who's former Tracy Larkin's widow, forced the runoff by getting 26% of the vote. But now that sounds pretty good, but here's the problem. Only 800 people of the 14,265 registered voters in the precinct cast ballots on March the 23rd. 800 of 14,265 people got out and voted. And I can't believe we're always whining about, well, they're trying to stop us from voting. They moved the precinct so we couldn't go vote. We standing in lines. Wasn't no line on March the 23rd, I'm telling you. Wasn't no line at all. Okay. So sometimes we just want something to how Roberta used to say this word? Botch. We want something to complain about. I think she got it BIOTCH. Anyway, so stop whining, get out and vote. Okay, 800 people out of 14,265 registered voters in the precinct cast ballots on March 23rd. I think that's like what's that? 2%? Something like that. It ain't very much. Okay. District 3 covers much of north central Montgomery from the south of Interstate 85 to Elmore County. Really? Well, I guess Elmore County will be up there, and I guess it'll be up there and going toward Wetumpka, I guess. Anyway, so I don't hear no whining whatsoever. Okay, if y'all decide that you don't want to go out and vote today, don't whine, shut up, just don't say anything. Don't tell me about Georgia. Well, they're making it hard to vote over there. Okay, we're not making it hard. Matter of fact, this is probably the first time that this is the first time I've seen any probate court. They actually, like I suggested they do, they actually came out and put out, even on this show here, I appreciate that, JC, they put out reminders. Don't let just 10 people decide who's going to be your leader or whatever, your representative in that district, okay? Get out and vote, because if you're either part of the problem, okay, or you're part of the solution. And so I don't want to hear no whining no more about people talking about we can't, they make us stand there, you can't bring water. Oh yeah, and you can't take your own bottle of water with you, okay? But I doubt if you're gonna be there long enough to need a bottle of water. But take your own bottle of water with you. This ain't Uber Eats, okay, at the post. Take your own bottle of water. If you might stand in line, take a sandwich with you, put it in the, wrap it up in tinfoil, make sure that it, I love tinfoil. I could not even cook unless there was tinfoil in the kitchen. I can't do it. I hate cleaning up stuff. So you put that tinfoil down on everything, and then you put everything all on it. And then when it's all over, you just wrap the tinfoil up, put it in the trash. Now I do feel guilty. Because sometimes I know that kind of like this plastic bottle stuff, sometimes we throw too much tinfoil away. But I think you can recycle tinfoil. If we could figure out a way to recycle some of these bottles, some of these water bottles, I mean, what we're doing. Now, I'm not an environmental wacko. Let me digress. I'm not an environmental wacko, okay? But I don't know what we do in America every day with millions of plastic bottles. There has got to be a way. There's a river over in Haiti, because they don't have water worth drinking, that the whole river is consumed by plastic bottles. Now, there's something wrong with that picture. I'm just saying. We ought to come up with something to do with these plastic bottles. I don't know why we just can't melt them all down and make more plastic bottles out of them. I mean, I just haven't figured that out. I mean, that's a lot of plastic bottles. But let me digress, okay? I want you guys to get out there and vote. I did have the place where everybody votes. Let me see if I can find that. Let me see if I can find that. What was yesterday? Yesterday was the 26th. Here it is right there. Let me see if I. Okay, here we go. Right here. I'm gonna tell you where the places where you actually go vote at. Okay, because I feel that I have a obligation here to help you guys get out and vote today. So I found all these out yesterday. Okay. Oh, did anybody hear about the woman who who's a guy and wants to run for the governor of California, Caitlyn Jenner, which is actually Bruce Jenner. I'm just saying, Bruce. Bruce thinks he's a woman too. Anyway, so much for that. I'm just telling you, I don't know what's wrong with people. Anyway, where are here? Okay, here are the places where you vote. Here are the places where you vote. The runoff election will be held today. Below on this paper here, I got the polling places are Sheridan Heights Community Center at 3501 Fargo Street, Newtown Community Center, 1765 North Decatur Street, King Hill Community Center at 814 Claremont Avenue, Day Street Baptist Church, 861 Day Street, Houston Hills Community Center at 207 Hall Street, and Alabama State University Acadome at 1595 Robert C. Hatch Drive. Although if you can't see the Acadome, you probably don't need to be voting. I mean, if you can't find that one, you probably just need to call it a day and going back to the house. Because if you can't see that, you're certainly not going to figure out, where to vote at. And there also is going to be another special election for District 1 City Council seat following the death of late Councilman Richard Bollinger. Bollinger passed amid a battle with cancer in March. It is unclear at this time when that election will be, but it is coming. And then we got another election, of course, between for the people who are running for the old Hatcher, Senator Hatcher seat. They're running for that. So far, the only people who's running for that one, I think Terrence Dawson, guy named, I talked to him last week, found an interesting guy, old Navy guy. I ain't mad at him because he's in the Navy. That's cool. He's running, and what was his name? Williams, I think it's his name. And we got Kenyatta. I can't pronounce his last name, but it's something like that. But he's running. So that ought to be at least be an interesting race there. That ought to be an interesting. Oh, and we do have one person running for that, and I haven't heard anything from her. But Miss Grant, come on now. Although I'm trying to figure out, it's in June. Somebody said it's in June. Okay, so District 1. Okay, it's in June. Man, it's on. Why they hold these things a long way out? Anyway, thank you, Commissioner. Appreciate that. That's Doug. Doug always. Yeah, he does always communicate with me. I will say that much. Although I don't know when we're going to have another Parks and Recreation meeting, since we're on the same board together. I don't know when it's going to happen. I mean, I'm out there looking at the parks, checking out. But I tell you, one park in this town is always full, and that is the one on Vaughn Park. Across the street from the church I used to go to, Vaughn Park over there. It's always good folks there. That would be a great place to have because I don't want to have to come all the way down to the amphitheater to watch Wednesday night at the movies. You know what I'm saying? Doug, we need to work on that. Okay, we need to have something happen at Vaughn Park. That's a beautiful park over there, and we ought to use it more often to bring people over there. Okay, and we'll have a special event at every park. Just to let people know that we got to. Then I found out. Now here's what I found out. Oh, I gotta go. Never mind. I'll get ready to talk about something. We'll come back and talk about more important things. Well, not more important things when I get back. Okay, so let's try to go in place. Okay, we'll be back.
WSFA 12 News Update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, I'm Tanya Terry for
WSFA. Get ready to start talking again.
Today marks 10 years since a deadly tornado outbreak devastated Alabama. More than 200 Alabamians died that day, And we want to remind you about our special airing tonight. It's entitled April 27th, The Unforgotten Tragedy. We'll take a look back at one of the worst tornado outbreaks in Alabama history. You can watch that tonight at 7 right here on WSFA 12 News. A special runoff election will be held today in Montgomery to fill the open District 3 City Council seat. Marsha Johnson will face Adrian Larkin to fill a seat vacated when her husband Tracy Larkin died in January. We have candidate and local polling information in this story on the WSFA 12 News app. And President Biden is expected to announce new federal mask guidance today. There are expected to be some recommendations for those who are vaccinated and those who are not. That's the news for now. I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News.
News Radio 1440, WLWI AM, and 95.1 HD3, Montgomery. This is the CBS World News Roundup, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. We're expecting new guidance today for Americans who've been fully vaccinated and whether they need to wear masks in public. Correspondent Rija Jang.
The language is not final, but the updated guidelines will stem from one key factor, whether somebody is vaccinated or not. The recommendations will outline what someone should and should not do if they are vaccinated when they're outside, like whether they should wear a mask.
The Centner Academy in Miami is warning its staff not to get vaccinated against COVID. Employment attorney Carter Sox.
This is a private school, it's not a public school. So generally a private employer in Florida can fire someone for any reason or no reason at all.
The school calls shots experimental and says no one who works there will be allowed to get them until more information comes in. President Biden is expected to sign an executive order today requiring government contractors to pay employees a minimum $15 an hour wage. CBS's Sarah Ewald Wallace.
The raise will impact workers across the federal government, from those working in maintenance to nursing assistants and food service workers. All federal agencies will need to implement the increased $15 minimum wage into new federal contracts by March 30th of next year.
Results of the 2020 census are in, and they document the slowest growth in the U.S. population since the Great Depression. The numbers mean some states will lose representation in Congress. Others will gain. Professor Jack Pitney at Claremont McKenna College.
The good news is it could have been a lot worse. There were some projections that California could have lost more seats. Nevertheless, psychologically, it is a blow because it is the first time since statehood we have lost a seat in the House of Representatives.
California lost one, so did New York, by a mere 89 residents. Texas will gain 2 seats. The family of Andrew Brown, a black man shot to death by sheriff's deputies in North Carolina, is demanding more information after they were shown just 20 seconds of body cam video. CBS's Manuel Bojorquez is in Elizabeth City.
A local state of emergency remains in effect here in Elizabeth City as people await a court hearing and a judge's ruling on whether video of the shooting should be made public.
A lot of people are finally ready to head back to the office, but many are worried about the post-work commute from home. Work from home commute. Take San Francisco.
Getting back on public transportation, even being vaccinated, it still makes me a little bit anxious. You're just going to catch people's germs. How many times did I get sick because I was squeezed onto the BART around all these people for 15 minutes?
S&P futures up 3. This is CBS News.
CBS News Radio is your home for breaking news. With our team of reporters around the country and the world, we give you the coverage you can trust.
Do you check your Google search results regularly? You should. People often get their first impression of you or your business online. Negative comments on the internet can impact your life and your livelihood. Take control of your online reputation. Get your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com. It may reveal negative posts from an ex-employee, upset patient or client, news article, legal issue, or even exposed personal information right there in your Google search results. Uncover what's lurking on the internet about you with reputationdefender.com patented scan and get your free reputation report card. Or for immediate assistance with your reputation, call 800-401-6681. Our cutting-edge technology helps make your Google search results look their best. Call 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681. 800-401-6681. Or take the free scan at reputationdefender.com.
The Harris County, Texas District Attorney is getting behind a push to pardon George Floyd for an arrest on drug charges that dates back more than a decade. KHOU TV's Marcelino Benito.
16 years before George Floyd died under convicted murderer Derek Chauvin's knee, he came across former HPD officer Gerald Goines. Goines arrested Floyd on drug charges in 2004.
This is so important to go on and correct the record.
Floyd is one of 69 people that may have been convicted on false evidence provided by Goines. It's why Harris County Public Defender Allison Mathis is asking the state to grant a posthumous pardon to Floyd for that 2004 conviction.
Walmart has a problem with Kanye West's new logo. The company says the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office should block his design because it looks a little too much like Walmart's 13-year-old sun sign. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
That big trip will be here before you know it, but without a working transmission, you aren't going anywhere. Head to the #1 transmission shop in Alabama, Allen Robbins Transmission. Allen Robbins staff can fix any problems you may have. They also service clutches, differentials, and transfer cases. These uncertain times have some concern, but Allen Robbins is prepared. They're still open and have taken all necessary precautions to keep customers and employees safe and healthy. Allen Robbins Transmission in Prattville. Call 365-3352.
What would make your mom feel like the #1 mom? A trip to the spa, cleaning services for a year, an epic shopping spree, a much-needed vacation? Enter to win the Mother's Day giveaway, and you will have the chance to win $5,000 so you could get your mom the ultimate Mother's Day prize. She'll feel like the #1 mom. Just head to our website now to enter for your chance to win $5,000 for the mom in your life. Go to newsradio1440.com. Brought to you locally by Zinc Chiropractic.
Do you have pain in your neck? What about back pain, headaches, sciatica? You're in pain and you know something is off, but you just ignore it. The hard part is living with pain. The easy part is making an appointment with Zinc Chiropractic and finding relief. Doctors Tom and Yolanda Zink at Zinc Chiropractic Center provide all natural chiropractic care. They will make you feel comfortable and explain everything in advance. Think Chiropractic, think Zinc. On Taylor Road between Eastgate and Vaughn Road. Walk-ins are always welcome.
Are you looking for window shades? Well, now is the time to visit our friends at Just Blinds in Prattville, the leaders in window coverings.
For a limited time only, Just Blinds is offering $50 to $100 rebates on popular Graber solar and roller window shades, or receive $50 rebates on each motorized Graber window treatment.
And be sure to take advantage of the free upgrade to a cordless lift on select Graber shades.
Visit Just Blinds showroom in Prattville or go to GoJustBlinds.com. That's GoJustBlinds.com.
If there's a sudden disaster and you can't get to the grocery store, or they're all out of food, what would you do? You'll wish you had emergency food to get you through the crisis. And that's why we're here. We're MyPatriotSupply.com, America's leading source of emergency food. Our food lasts for up to 25 years, and millions of families trust us for their disaster survival. Won't you join us? Unlike other food companies, we don't skimp on calories. Our meals give you more than 2,000 calories per day. Why? Because that's what you need to survive any challenging crisis. And right now, you can save $200 on our popular 3-month emergency food kit. Just go to MyPatriotSupply.com and place your order. We ship fast, 2 to 3 days max. Your food arrives discreetly right to your door. So order today and save $200 at MyPatriotSupply.com. That's MyPatriotSupply.com.
They are the 2 sexiest fat men alive. Really fun. And you can hear Rick and Bubba on News Radio 1440, beginning at 9 a.m. Depend on it.
Alrighty now. Hey, what do you guys think about not turning the clock back in the spring and the fall and moving them forward in the spring? I kind of like the time change thing, you know. I do it because it makes you feel like you like still in an hour. And see, and I never have that complaint that some people have, because all I do is I just go to bed an hour earlier, or I go to bed an hour later. Then it's all the same thing to me. It doesn't bother me at all. Don't bother me at all. I want to talk about something this hour that that had me, and I've mentioned it before, but I do believe that we are getting into a cultural issue that can land people in jail, that has landed people in jail in Montgomery and across this nation because of a culture. And what culture am I talking about here? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Okay. You know. Well, there's a culture of discipline in America, in the black family and in the white family, just a little bit different. And there's a police officer, as a matter of fact, that's waiting for a grand jury, because according to the newspaper, he probably don't want to talk about it, so that's why I reached out to him. Because what happened is that evidently he spanked his daughter. Okay, he spanked his daughter because she is supposed to be doing some of that virtual schooling or whatever that thing is, like Zarel does. Okay, you got to be there. I mean, you don't have an option of whether or not you're going to do it. It's what you got to do, because that's where we are today in education. Okay. But he's on leave from duty because he whipped his child's butt, because according to the Montgomery Advertiser, she did not show up for virtual class. He was arrested, and now he's waiting on a grand jury. So let's talk about culture for a second. We discipline differently. Okay, I don't know what's good or what's bad, but one thing about it, I've never spent a night in jail, even though I do think sometimes we get a little heavy-handed with the discipline sometimes. But on the other hand, when I've seen things that white children do and say to their parents that I would have been knocked out. My mother would have gladly spent some time in jail for knocking me out some of the things that have been said. But here is the question. Do black folks tend to spank their children too much? And do white folks tend not to spank their children enough? It is a butt whooping is supposed to hurt. It's supposed to get your attention. Okay. But here is the contradiction. If you don't spank your children, they'll grow up to be baby kids. Okay, they will. They'll grow up to be baby kids. They'll be doing all kind of things. They'll show up for school, and they'll be incorrigible, like we see in our class. And the only way to deal with those kids is put them on medication, which will mess them up for the rest of their life, or put them out. Okay? So, if you spank them, and somebody thinks that you spank them too much, you're a bad parent. If you don't spank them, some people say you are a bad parent. Okay, you didn't do your job. Life is kind of tough like that. You know what I'm saying? What do we call abuse in parenting? What do we call abuse? And it seems to me that if you get a little mark on your arm, or mark on your back, or something like that, okay, I ain't talking about a mark with an iron or hot water. I'm talking about if you gonna get hit with a belt, you gonna get hit with a belt. A belt gonna leave something on you. Okay, trust me, I had some left on me. But if the child won't move, won't bend over, because I had Emmanuel one day, right? Emmanuel, I said, boy, you need to bend over that chair, because I put the wood on him, okay? And I only had to do it once or twice. I only put the wood on him once or twice. But he wouldn't bend over the chair, because I was trying to make it easy for him. I was trying to make it, I was trying to make him not see it coming. That way he just felt the sting, and not the I don't want to scare the boy. I just wanted to get his attention. So he wouldn't bend over. He would not bend over. I don't know what was wrong with him. I think he was mentally ill or something that day because he just wouldn't bend. So I bent him over for myself. Okay. But anyway, I think, is there a difference in culture in disciplining children in America between blacks and whites? Because I believe this police officer, if the story in the newspaper is right, he should not be going in front of a grand jury. His job, if you don't discipline your children, they end up breaking in somebody's house because they don't know what discipline means. They don't know. They think they can do what they want to do. And so then you end up in jail. Then that just it grows into all kinds of things for the rest of your life. But is there a difference in culture when it comes to disciplining children? Now, one guy said, John Dominguez says, old school spankings or whippings do not teach proper behavior. Really? Talk to me. They are more likely to produce hatred toward the parents or an adult. Communicating in a respectful manner with the child or person and explaining not only the immediate, but also let's see, what else he got down there, but also the decision-making process would be a better and longer lasting experience. Okay. Teaching children at an early age to make the best decision, and they still don't. We got grown folks like myself, some that don't make the best decision, okay, would have a positive impact on their lives. So I wrote them back and said, listen, so we don't do what the good book says. We don't spare the rod and spoil the child. Okay. Now Alan Marlowe says, that it seems to me like spanking would be a universal language of violence is the way to solve your problems. I don't disagree with that. There's a difference between violence. Okay. Now, Robert Puritan said, now you're confusing spanking with beating and clubbing. I don't believe in all that stuff. Spanking is with an open hand. Okay, we ain't. I don't know about that. I don't know how that works. You got a 16-year-old. I don't know how you. Okay, I see that's a cultural thing there. I don't know how you take a hand and spank your child's bottom when they're like 15 years old, or 14. How you do that? Now, closing the hand into a fist is another matter. I would agree with that. You don't do that. You just get the paddle. You just get the wood. You grab the wood and you spank them. But the problem is there a cultural difference between disciplinary, the disciplinary practices that we do? And should a guy be looking at a grand jury because he spanked his child? Okay, and so what if he left a well? I mean, sometimes you got to sit still to get that wood, but some kids won't sit still. They just, listen, I don't know if I can sit still either because I was running all around the house when my mom was running after me. No, we don't play this. If you get me, you got to catch me. But anyway, are we going to intimidate parents from not spanking their children, not having that firm hand? Because that's one of the things we talk about. And I have to ask you, how many people are dead today in this city because our young folks didn't have the discipline that they needed at home, and therefore they've been run amok for years and years and years. And if what I'm seeing in our community all over America, okay, so is there a cultural difference? I mean, is there a cultural difference in the way discipline is approached between black and white? And I think if there is, and I know there is, okay, I mean, I wouldn't have any teeth in my mouth. I see it today. I see it today in stores. When white children say to their parents, I just look at them. You still alive? You still standing up? You not laying on the ground? I mean, Now, sometimes I do believe that my brothers and sisters sometimes are a little heavy-handed. Okay, are a little heavy-handed when it comes to discipline. But if you don't discipline, you are considered a bad parent. If you do discipline like this police officer did, and they put his name all in the paper, we don't know what happened. We just put it all in the newspaper, embarrass a guy. Now, if it's found out that all he did was spank his child, then how do you get your reputation back? How do you get your reputation back that you're not some child abuser if you do this? How do you do that? How do you get it back? It is a parent's job to discipline their children. It is their job. It is their responsibility. It is their right. Now, I think that the two culture collisions, the two cultures have collided here, and one who maintains the power determines what abuse is. So what the hell is abuse? How is it defined? Now, if you're taking irons, if you're taking bats and hitting your kids, of course, that's abuse. But spanking your child with a belt is not abuse. They just got to stay still and bend over and take the wood or the leather, whichever one you want. But I hate to see every time this happens, some citizens' picture is put all in the newspaper because he was doing, the fact of the matter is that if this father is concerned enough about his child not getting her education, it would seem, and there's another part of this too. Evidently, he doesn't live with the child's mother, so she came down and got her child and went to Georgia and started complaining. Anytime there's a vengeful woman involved, there's going to be hell to pay. Okay. But my thing is that don't we have according to the state of Alabama, we have a right to use corporal punishment on our children. Okay. We have that right. Not only does a parent, anybody in authority has a right to do that. Okay. And that's what the law says. Again, how you define are you considered abusing your child if you leave a mark on them? Hell, if that's the case, my mother should have been in jail about 14,000 times. If that in fact is the case. So what is the standard? I mean, really, what is the standard? The one thing I didn't believe in doing, I don't believe in hitting your kids in the face. I don't believe in that crap. Or if they happen to put their face in the way, that's just one of those things. But again, this police officer, pictures all in the newspaper for doing what I think every parent should be doing. We ought to be glad that we got a father that's out there that is so concerned about his child that he's willing to put some discipline in place so they know how important that their education is, and more importantly than that, how important it is that they follow directions. Okay, I mean, I'm just saying. Now, Chris Young says, I have raised 3 kids, and they're all grown now, and I spanked mine every time they showed out or broke the rules. The courts can kiss off. None of my kids landed in trouble with drugs, with alcohol, with law enforcement agencies. I'm white, and I will have spanked my grandkids when it was needed. Most people who give time out of most people who give time outs and taking them advice calls that, they said don't do that because that don't always work. Have more book knowledge and common sense. In other words, people who tend to say time on all that stuff really haven't raised their own children. Okay, I'm just thinking. I just think that that's an issue that needs some corrections in our court system. Okay, explain to me what abuse is to your children. To explain, because they have a or a mad ex-wife, is that the standard? That the other parent gets upset at you, and then they can call the police on you, or the Department of Health, or whatever that department is. Is that the standard that we have? So anyway, I just hate when I see that when the guy is doing. I mean, do you know how many fathers out there who don't care if their children show up for class, who don't know what school their children go to, who don't know the teachers, hell, who don't even know their child. So I got to tell you, this bothers me because I don't believe, I don't know who defines what abuse is. Because you have a welt on you because you got spanked with a belt, that's abuse. Not in the hood is not. You know, I mean, I don't get. I think we have a class of culture when it comes to disciplining our children. And so, what say you? 860-1440 is your number here. Should you go to jail because you spanked your child and they moved and ran around, they got a whelp on their arm or a whelp on their leg? I mean, is that a reason to put somebody in jail and to tarnish their reputation, all because they were doing what we've been trained to do, what the Bible tells us to do? The Bible don't say nothing about timeout. Okay, it don't say nothing about timeout. It says, okay, spare the rod and spoil the child. As a matter of fact, I believe somewhere it says a bad child actually brings shame upon his mother. Okay, I'm just saying. And let's take a break. We'll come back, take some of your calls and comments right after this.
Block of Halcyon Point Drive. We do have a minor accident reported at that location. If you see something else giving you trouble, safely contact us. We'll pass the info along. Appreciate your help. Reinhardt Collision Center is looking for an auto body technician to keep up with demand. To apply, call 213-1216 and become part of the team. Reinhardt Toyota Lexus. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
For all your collision repairs, Chico's knows. Located on Atlanta Highway, just minutes from the Eastern Bypass. Call Chico's Auto Pros today at 239-9510. Chico's knows.
Depression is a daily battle, but there is a new weapon to help you fight depression. Transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS. TMS is an innovative FDA-approved therapy for patients with severe depression. TMS is non-invasive and not a drug. It is a safe, effective, in-office procedure designed to activate natural functions in your brain's neurotransmitters. Find out if TMS is right for you. Contact IVH of Montgomery at 256-975-4162 or log on ivhus.com.
The City of Montgomery presents the Seafood and Arts Festival, May 1st from 4 till 9 p.m. in the Union Station Train Shed. Check out a variety of local artisans and craftsmen showcasing their amazing talents, plus delicious seafood vendors and live music from locals Todd Fulmer and Ron Handy. Admission is a donation benefiting Child Protect, and a cash bar will also be available. Montgomery Seafood and Arts Festival, May 1st from 4 till 9 p.m. in the Union Station Train Shed. Sponsored by the City of Montgomery.
It's a different year. You need to reach your potential customers, and your customers need to be able to find you. Let Cumulus Media help. We've built a unique opportunity for you to connect your business with River Region homeowners that are looking for your products and services. Radio, digital, and lead generation for your business, helping you reach hundreds of thousands of people in this area. You need to talk to Cumulus Media. Call Don Polno at 334-240-2257. That's 334-240-2257.
If you're worried about your hard-earned dollars becoming worthless or your value, now is the time to move into gold. No, not gold or silver stocks, but real gold and silver you can actually hold in your hands. How do you get real gold and silver? By calling Oxford Gold today at 833-600-GOLD.
The Oxford Gold Group will teach you everything you need to know about owning real gold and silver. It's a lot easier than you think. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now at 833-600-GOLD to get your free gold and silver investment guide. Put your savings and retirement accounts into something real, like gold and silver. Get your free Oxford Gold Group investment guide today and learn how easy it is to have real gold and silver delivered to your home, or how you can have real gold and silver in your retirement account. Don't sit back and watch your savings and retirement account suffer. Now is the time to make your money work as hard for you as you did for your money. So do this. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now, today, 833-600-GOLD. That's 833-600-GO. If you're worried about your hard-earned dollars becoming worthless or your 401k or IRA losing value, now is the time to move into gold. No, not gold or silver stocks, but real gold and silver you can actually hold in your hands. How do you get real gold and silver? By calling Oxford Gold today at 833-600-GOLD. The Oxford Gold Group will teach you everything you need to know about owning real gold and silver. It's a lot easier than you think. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now at 833-600-GOLD to get your free gold and silver investment guide. Put your savings and retirement accounts into something real, like gold and silver. Get your free Oxford Gold Group investment guide today and learn how easy it is to have real gold and silver delivered to your home, or how you can have real gold and silver in your retirement account. Don't sit back and watch your savings and retirement account suffer. Now is the time to make your money work as hard for you as you did for your money. So do this. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now, today, 833-600-GOLD. That's 833-600-GO.
He is the voice of the conservative millennials.
The president is going to have to stand fast.
The Ben Shapiro Show.
They're not going to be willing to keep the government shut down.
Today at 3 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
And we are back, 860-1440. I'm trying to have a serious conversation, but you can't get people, you know. And one other thing I want to know too, why are we still celebrating Confederate Memorial Day? I mean, really, don't we have a Memorial Day, okay, in next month? Why are we doing this Confederate thing? I don't know. Oh, well. Let's go to the phone, see who's there. Good morning. Yes.
Millions and billions of dollars.
Okay, well, we were talking about disciplining our kids. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But we have a police officer that's in the newspaper getting ready to go before a grand jury because he disciplined his daughter, and they trying to indict him for child abuse. And I think that's crazy. I think that's absolutely stupid. I think, but the question is, do blacks and white people discipline their children differently? And if that is so, and I think we do, and if that is so, then it's a culture issue. And I think they ought to try to understand where we're coming from, rather than putting people, indicting people for doing, because if you don't discipline your children, they call you an unfit parent. If you do discipline your children, then you turn around, you go to jail. Yeah, at the moment. Yeah, I am, but you wasn't talking about what I was talking about. You talking about something about. That's what we were talking about. But you brought up making money. You brought up making money in prison. You brought up making money in prison. And that's what we're talking about. But what is abuse? What is discipline versus abuse? Yeah, because if you it's not up to me. No. So what is abuse? Now another guy says, correct them early. Then you won't have as much later. Said, I'm not negotiating with a child. Different explanation when they get a little older. I'm with you. My parents knocked me out. Kept me straight though. They didn't abuse. They corrected. I do the same now because it works. And I just explain and teach more than they do. And me too. I believe in talking. Okay, I believe in talking. But you don't take Mr. Wood out of the negotiation, because sometimes talking, they get it. Sometimes, and sometimes you can't talk. Sometimes you got to put the wood on it. Okay. And then my problem is that if they find out that all he did was spank his child, and then how does he get his reputation back? Okay, seriously, he's a police officer. Would he get another job being a police officer any place? And I mean, I think those kinds of things should be kept out of the public eye until they have been then judicially disposed of. Because then now the Montgomery Advertiser is not going to, if they find this guy innocent, they're not going to put a big article in the newspaper saying that nothing happened. There's nothing to see here. They're not going to do that. All we're going to remember is what we see on the newspaper. He's waiting for his case is going for the grand jury. So we won't see anything else about this story if it is found that he didn't abuse anybody. He just put some discipline on them, which is what we tell our folks that's what they need to do. Okay, wasn't abuse. So I'm just trying to figure out who determined what the hell abuse is. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it is, because when they get you in prison, nobody worries about abuse then. They don't worry about it then. Hey, I got callers that called this show. They said, well, they shouldn't have did it. They shouldn't be in prison. Okay. So our children are going to get introduced to discipline one way or the other. Good morning, who's this? She had a whelp on her. She had a mark on her. Okay, I mean, what the hell's a mark? Yeah, I mean, if you get hit, you get hit. So if you spank your child, right. So what? Wait a minute. They leave. Okay. Wait. Like any parent. But I don't see. I had whelps on me. So who changed the rules? What law? I mean, is there a law that says you can't leave? The state of Alabama says you can use corporal punishment. I'm telling you, I ain't talking about your wife. I'm talking about your kid. But the law says in the state of Alabama you can use corporal punishment on your child. And what if they move? What if you putting the wood on them and they say they don't want to take the wood no more, so they move out the way? Wait. I'm only going what I see in the paper, but I do know one thing. She didn't have to go to nobody's hospital, but her mama came and got her, and her mama, because she had a mark on her, her mama took her to the Georgia Department of that child department. Okay, and do you really believe that an ex-wife or an ex-girlfriend, that's one of the reasons why she ex, because they didn't agree? Do you think we should, again, just because you have a mark on you, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Do white people and black people discipline their children differently? Okay. Oh, but it is. It's a culture. It's a cultural thing. Right. I know. I know. They will. So, wait now. Bro, we don't need the data. We don't need the data. You seen it. I seen it. You seen it. And so, if there is a difference in culture of discipline, does that mean we go to jail for it? But if you don't discipline your children, guess what? They talk about you like a dog, like you have no good parent. Right, right. Yeah, yeah. Right, right. I understand that, but disciplining a child, or being a guardian of a child that you have legal authority over, the law in Alabama said you can impose corporal punishment. And well, I don't know, but 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 you're gonna get a mark. Even if I put the wood on that butt of yours, you're gonna get a mark. Okay, well, again, it's a culture thing here, and black folks. So, and I understand that. I mean, listen, if you got marks all on your face, you got a iron print on your hand, I'm with you. Well, then, brother, we got an issue. No wonder we got so many kids out here that are running wild, killing folks, and not minding because it. Mm, yeah, well, and so how does a parent protect themselves? Okay. Well, that's the way my mom thought about it too, I think. So, but again, it's a cultural thing that it seems to be it seems to hurt black parents more than white parents, and I think that's wrong. And again, what is abuse? I don't know what abuse is anymore. Yeah. All right. Hey, appreciate it. Just thought I'd ask the question this morning, but what is abuse? Now I know Janet Bailey over there, member of our school board and head of Child Protect, will probably totally disagree with me on this. But as a parent and as a former child and as a former butt whooping recipient, uh, didn't kill me, didn't hurt me. I'm good, I'm glad to say I've not spent one day in jail in my whole life. Now there may have been some times I should have spent a day in jail, but but I was respectful, and I didn't. So anyway, now it's not that I didn't do anything, but I didn't do a whole lot of things. Okay. Anyway, we'll be right back after it is 7:42. We get on something else next hour, but I think this is important. How many of our parents don't spank their kids because they just don't want to hassle, and that lends itself to children manipulating you, the system, and everybody else, and they end up dead, laying in the street, or shot by the police because they don't know how to mind. We'll be back. Okay, we are back. Good morning to you. Just talking about this police officer who's going through hell right now for disciplining his own child, and all of a sudden now you find yourself on the other end of a and corporal punishment in Alabama is legal. You can actually use physical force according to the laws of Alabama against your child in order to make them mine. It didn't say abuse, but you can use physical force. That's what the law says. Okay. So, but I guess and like in Alabama, state of Alabama, 5 James helped get the paddling thing passed. And you can actually paddle children. But the problem is that nobody likes to use it. And, that's where we are today. That's why we got so many people killing each other and acting up in school and the proliferation of private schools. Good morning. Yes.
Yeah, it's a friend in my neighborhood. What I want to talk about, you got to ask your big brother about that discipline thing. He can let him get some youth discipline training. And about that Confederate Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Just reassurance that the reason they still got those Confederate flags and keep 2 brothers in line.
Well, I do think it's crazy to have it because we have a Memorial Day for all those that served and died. And it seemed like to me we ought to put everybody together. Since 1957, Congress gave any veteran, Confederate or the other one, they gave them all veteran status. So I don't know why we separating. They were given veteran status, no matter which side they were on, they were given United States veteran status. And I understand, and it's a healing process back in those days. But why we still separate today, one Memorial Day from another? Yeah. What insurrection? No. Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It's not against the law to have weapons. Well, no, it's not. It's not even against a. Well, right. That's wrong. But it's not against. It's not against the law to have a weapon. No. What I saw. Listen. What I saw is a bunch of people who were fed up with the way their government ignores the hell out of them. But they took well again. Wait a minute. Well, the only slavery. Well, again, there's crime going on, but the slavery. As long as you got prisons, you got slavery. Okay, you got slavery. Yeah. Well, again, but you got slavery. Slavery ain't going no place. Okay. Well, again, but again, well, it ain't the same. It ain't quite the same. But then if you work and don't get paid, don't work for that person. No, don't work. Listen, let me get on something. We get back that later on. We get back that some other time. 7:51 in the morning. Good morning. Who's this? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Man, what is that? What is that with your phone? No, it's a big tick. Something. It's bad. Killing me. Call me back. Yeah. You're killing me with that. And I guess the question is discipline versus abuse. I don't. There must be a thin line because I just don't. I don't know. I don't know. Good morning. Much better.
Saying is you have man's wisdom. Mm-hmm. Don't punish your child. Don't discipline your child. Don't spank your child, etc., etc. But then you have God's word. The book of Proverbs says, your son's back is for the rod. He will not die. That's the exact words. If you beat your son, and let me say this, I'm not saying beat your son or daughter with a rod on the back. But what I am saying is God's word says to discipline your child corporately.
Hey, I'm with you. I'm with you, but
And it was not necessary for me to spank him. I said, right now, my grandson is 3 years old. And this past Sunday, we were at my daughter's house, and he raised his hand to hit his 1-year-old sister. And I hollered at him. He looked at me, and he stopped. Just the very tone of my voice made him stop.
right.
If you truly love somebody, I mean, even Scripture says, God says to everybody, you discipline a child you love. If you don't discipline your child, do you understand you don't love your child? Because if you love them, you will discipline them now before the government disciplines them.
Right.
When they are older, they will not depart. Those are the very words of Scripture. So I will not allow society or the government to determine how to discipline my child or my grandchildren, because I love them, and I do not want them to suffer harm when they are adults.
Of course, if they start complaining and you end up in Montgomery Advertiser with your face all sprawled all over the front page, maybe that'll change your mind.
Just reference my own arrest a little over 3 years ago. Like you said before, how do you go about getting your good name back?
You don't.
You remember when you were actually telling me, Bud, what's going on? I'm hearing this from such and such. The police are doing this and this towards you. Do you remember that conversation?
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying, dude, I ain't got a clue what you're talking about. And when I was arrested, that was in the sting by U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions. I was arrested amongst 183 previously convicted felons. And the WSFA themselves said in the article, on a more disturbing note, Joseph Phelps, now comparing me to convicted murderers and rapists, they listed me. But when I was no-billed by the grand jury, which means the grand jury said there's no evidence of what Bud was accused of, they threw that out. Did you ever think WSFA ever ran an article saying, well, the jury found him, there's no evidence?
Yeah, and again, this police. Did you see the argument about the policeman in the newspaper who got? That if this is found out to be much to do about nothing, they're not going to put his picture on the front of the newspaper telling everybody, "Hey, he's been exonerated." They're not going to do that. Yeah. Yeah. But by that time, all we will remember is seeing him in the newspaper accused of abuse. I don't get it. Hey, I appreciate it. My time just brought up. It might sound hard to believe, but the United States does not currently have any federal laws prohibiting the use of corporal punishment. So it isn't technically illegal to hit your kid in any state, according to sources. In January, France became the 52nd country in the world to ban corporal punishment. And of course, that's why they got a bunch of cowards over there. That's why every time they get in trouble, we got to run over there and help them out. Sweden was the first, 1979. But not over here, brother. In 1977, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that corporal punishment is constitutional, leaving a lot of children Okay, leaving a lot of I don't know why I got my phone on, but turn that off. Okay, leaving a lot of room for states to come up with their own laws on the subject, according to sources. For example, in Delaware, the state forbids a parent from hitting their children with a closed fist. Got no problem with that, according to Time. But a slap isn't the same thing. So presumably, that is okay. I had some of them too. I don't see no wrong slapping. Sometimes you got to slap people to get the sense put back in their head. Anyway, we can talk about all these things later. I just thought I ran out. I just hate people getting their pictures put all over the newspaper, and then where do they go to get their reputation back? Where does that come from? They never do. We'll be back.
Now, your WSFA 12 news update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News. Today marks 10 years since a deadly tornado outbreak devastated Alabama. More than 200 Alabamians died that day, and we want to remind you about our special hearing tonight. It's entitled April 27th, The Unforgotten Tragedy. We'll take a look back.
Who's calling me at 7:59 in the morning?
Alabama history. You can watch that tonight at 7.
Right, yeah, I'm on the air, right?
A special runoff election.
Well, you got me now.
In Montgomery to fill the open District 3 City Council seat. Marsha Johnson will face Adrian Larkin to fill a seat vacated when her husband Tracy.
Okay, we'll get it done.
We have candidate and local polling information in this story on the WSFA 12 News app. And President Biden is expected to announce new federal mask guidance today. There are expected to be some recommendations for those who are vaccinated and those who are not. That's the news for now. I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News.
News Radio 1440 is WLWI AM Montgomery, a Cumulus station, also heard on 95.1.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. We are awaiting an update from the CDC on whether people who've been fully vaccinated against COVID should still wear masks in public. Health and Human Services Secretary Javier Becerra hints it'll be advisable for a while longer. But in the meantime, he tells CBS this morning,
the message is clear. You're vaccinated. Guess what? You get to return to a more normal lifestyle. If you're not vaccinated, you're still a danger. You're still in danger as well. So get vaccinated.
In some states, health officials are worried about vaccine hesitancy. In others, like Missouri, they're trying to make shots more available. Amy Yeager with the Madison County Health Department.
Bars, restaurants, beauty supply places, barbershops, hair salons.
As many as 5 million people haven't gone back for second doses of Moderna or Pfizer vaccines. There's a court hearing today in the case of a former Texas police officer who shot and killed a black man. CBS's Jim Krasula.
A Texas appeals court today will hear arguments on overturning the conviction of Amber Geiger, the white former Dallas police officer who was sentenced to 10 years in prison for the 2018 shooting death of a black neighbor in his own apartment. The judges will have to consider whether the evidence was sufficient to prove that her shooting of Botham Jean was murder.
Geiger claims she mistook his apartment for her own and thought he was a burglar. U.S. officials are worried about terrorism here at home. CBS's Nicole Skanga.
Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas is launching an internal investigation to address the threat of domestic violent extremism within the Department of Homeland Security. Mayorkas called rooting out domestic violent extremism an urgent priority of the Biden-Harris administration in the wake of the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol in a memo to staff obtained by CBS News.
When it comes to anti-Semitic assault, harassment, and vandalism, the Anti-Defamation League's Orrin Siegel says
2020 remains the third highest year of anti-Semitic incidents that we documented since we've been doing this in 1979.
A new report from the ADL cites members of Jewish communities criticized when they refused COVID vaccinations and an increase in anti-Semitic Zoom bombing as work and schools moved online. Where in the world are you safest from COVID? CBS's Vicki Barker says there's a new number one.
Move over, New Zealand. Singapore has just dethroned you as the world's best place to sit out the pandemic. It's number one in the latest Bloomberg COVID COVID resilience rankings. Both countries now have near zero infection rates, but Bloomberg says Singapore's vaccination drive is moving far faster.
S&P futures are up 2, Dow futures off 20. This is CBS News.
CBS News Radio is your home for breaking news. With our team of reporters around the country and the world, we give you the coverage you can trust.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
It's a dangerous time in big cities like New York, LA, Chicago, San Francisco, and more. Now, Rob Schmidt is on Newsmax TV exposing the truth in his series, Cities on Fire. Watch Rob Schmidt tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern and see his Cities on Fire special on Newsmax TV. Now on all major cable systems. Get Newsmax free on smart TVs, Roku, Pluto, Zumo, or YouTube. Or download the free Newsmax app on your phone and start watching. Newsmax is real news for real people.
A court victory for Michael Jackson's estate.
The judge dismissing the lawsuit by a man claiming Jackson molested him as a boy. Wade Robeson filed the suit against Jackson's estate 4 years after the singer died, but in his ruling, the judge says there's no evidence that estate managers had any control over the singer and had no legal ability to do that since he had complete ownership. Robeson was one of 2 men who appeared in the HBO documentary Leaving Neverland to claim that Jackson molested him. The other man's suit was dismissed last fall. Robeson's attorney says he'll appeal. Peter King, CBS News.
Want to cook up a hearty dinner?
First, I'm going to start with the meatballs since they take a little bit longer.
If you're looking for a beefy recipe, skip Epicurious. Condé Nast's website will not include new recipes that call for red meat. The publisher points out livestock causes about 15% of Earth's greenhouse gases.
Yes, I believe that.
61% of it linked to beef. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Make money. The 25K Workday Payday. It's all about money. It's your national keyword to win $100. Text BUCKS, BUCKS, BUCKS to 95819. Standard messaging rates apply. Don't text and drive. We'll text back to confirm your entry. If you win, you'll be entered to win a grand prize of $25,000. It's the 25K Workday Payday on News Radio 1440.
That big trip will be here before you know it, but without a working transmission, you aren't going anywhere. Head to the #1 transmission shop in Alabama, Allen Robbins Transmission. Allen Robbins staff can fix any problems you may have. They also service clutches, differentials, and transfer cases. These uncertain times have some concern, but Allen Robbins is prepared. They're still open and have taken all necessary precautions to keep customers and employees safe and healthy. Allen Robbins Transmission in Prattville. Call 365-3352.
It's time to get outdoors and get together for those fun gatherings and family reunions. Be sure to take care of all your guests with portable toilets from Alabama Dumpster Service. They're delivered where and when you need and picked up by our own fleet of trucks. Our competitive pricing means dependable, affordable, clean portable toilets. Call us today at 334-288-1500 for availability and schedules, or learn more at alabamadumpster.com.
What would make your mom feel like the #1 mom? A trip to the spa, cleaning services for a year, a shopping spree, a much-needed vacation, enter to win the Mother's Day giveaway, and you will have a chance to win $5,000 so you could get your mom the ultimate Mother's Day prize. She'll feel like the #1 mom. Just head to our website now. Enter $5,000 for mom in your life. Go to newsradio1440.com. Brought to you locally by Zinc Chiropractic.
Do you have pain in your neck? What about that?
I know. Let me see.
The easy part is making an appointment with Zinc Chiropractic and finding relief. Doctors Tom and Yolanda Zink at Zinc Chiropractic Center provide all-natural chiropractic care. They will make you feel comfortable and explain everything in advance. Think Chiropractic, think Zinc. On Taylor Road between East Chase and Vaughn Road. Walk-ins are always welcome.
Montgomery and Prattville. Matt Persley here from Budget Car and Truck Sales. Did you miss me? I've been wondering, if you miss a payment on a Tesla, does it drive itself back to the bank? So if you hate the car you're driving, is your current payment too much? Do you owe too much on your trade? Come see me and spring into savings. I'm paying up to $4,000 more for all trade-ins. No matter who you bought it from, no matter how much you owe, I'm paying up to $4,000 more for all trade-ins. Better yet, you can buy with just $1 down. $1 down. And if your credit doesn't shine, you're gonna be fine. My perfect payment plan works, and it helps you drive a car you love with a payment you can afford. $4,000 more for your trade-in, a car you love, and drive a car with just $1 down. But hurry, these deals won't last long. Did you miss us? I'm Matt Parsley. I'm your dealer for the people. See all these rides at our new website, buybudgetonline.com. That's buybudgetonline.com.
Calling all residents of District 3. On April 27th, you can create a new vision for District 3. For growth in our business community, increased access to resources, and updated community centers, vote Marsha Johnson on April 27th. The City Council.
And don't you know, if you let me make love to you, then why can I touch you?
The Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches is hosting a children's charity golf tournament on May 6th at Arrowhead Country Club. The Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranch is a 501c3 charity founded by the sheriffs of Alabama in 1966. They provide long-term, loving homes for abandoned, abused, and neglected boys and girls across the state of Alabama. For more information on the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranch or the golf tournament, call the office at 334-213-2071.
He is the voice of the conservative millennials.
The president is going to have to stand fast.
The Ben Shapiro Show.
They're not going to be willing to keep the government shut down.
Monday afternoon at 3 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
It's too late. You've seen me, so I'll have to keep you on.
Okay, I don't know where you guys at today. Is everybody still celebrating the Confederate Memorial Day? Still ain't figured that one out. I mean, everybody, all these. I don't know why we got to have two of them. See, those are the kind of things that make people skeptical about the moving on of the South. That just do away with it. I mean, the state got enough holidays as it is. Need to go to work sometime. But don't ask me. I would never understand that. I believe in Memorial Day is the end of May. That's Memorial Day to honor those dead and fallen soldiers and sailors and Marines and people who have given their lives for this country. I don't know why we got to have a Southern one, unless they really do believe they're not part of the United States. Okay. Kind of remind me of living in Honolulu. They believe they wasn't part of the United States sometimes. The numbers are 860-1440. You want to give us a call? Love to talk to you. And so it is election day. The election has been going on now for about an hour and 11 minutes. So I hope that I have to get on the air tomorrow and talk about y'all in District 3, that you didn't go to vote. You went all that whining and crying, but you don't go out and vote. So hopefully you'll get out. Good morning. Who's this?
Got in touch with this cop over in Georgia. You say that?
No. His evidently his daughter's mother lives in Georgia, and she came and picked her up. And then when she took her back home, according to the newspaper, she called the DHR, whoever it is. Then they said, well, we're going to refer this back to Montgomery because she had a whelp or something on her. I mean, she got a whooping. Right. But what if you spank in the butt and they move?
People, some moms and dads themselves, and they can sense what's excessive. Like I alluded to a moment ago, that I mean, if you got your child bent over and you're using a belt on him and he's having to jump up and you accidentally hit the head or something, well, you got to prove, there's
Yeah.
all for discipline your child. But as Bud mentioned a moment ago, the good book instructs us to train our kids when they're young. When a child starts walking, talking, understand, saying mom and dad, understand yes and no, most black parents are too busy hugging and kissing at that period. That's the time when Jesus is very blunt about it. He says we train when they're young. 90% of the time they will stick to their instruction. But our society today is a whole different society. If you go to a grand jury, I doubt very much if the grand jury is going to convict this man. I guess the mom and what they was divorced or just separated. Which one do you know?
No, I guess they separated or something. I don't really know. Yeah. Yeah, I know how to. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Our city council, Kevin, is corrupt to the core, and people who want to disagree, they didn't get their homework.
Okay. Now, when you say, well, hold on, let's slow down for a second. When you say they are corrupt, what evidence do you have that? Well, one of them's going to win.
Well, wait a minute. I mean, we're talking about no winning now. The winning got to do it. What I'm saying is no blacks voted at all. What you think would happen? If no blacks took part in it whatsoever, what you think would happen?
We'd have a draw. Well, somebody's got to vote for him.
Black people don't have to vote. Black people need to stay out of this local crap. They need to just stay out of it. When it comes to a president, I'm down. My wife Bernice is down. But this local stuff, it's a bunch of hogwash.
But wait a minute. But we pay taxes locally. The president, we ain't got nothing to do with. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm.
Pick Marche, are they going to pick this Lockins woman? Now, Tracy's dead. Let him rest in peace. Miss Lockins just go home and shut her mouth.
Well, I guess this is opinion radio, but local races is where we have some input. We don't have any input in. Do you think Joe Biden, Kamala, whatever hell her name is, you think she cares anything about me sitting down here in Montgomery, Alabama, fly over the flyover city? Of course not. I mean, come on. But the local folks, that's where we pay our money, So anyway, listen. Now I don't agree with Goodwill on this. You got to get out there. You got to vote. You got to vote for somebody, even if you're wrong. Vote. Be part of the problem, and not part of the part of the solution, not part of the problem. Another thing that has come up recently. Okay, let me say first of all, I believe in the police. I support the police, and sometimes they have to do what they have to do. But with all the technology that we have, it would seem to me that we could use a little less lethal force than real bullets. But again, and I know the problem with using fake bullets is that the crook got real bullets. I know. I mean, still have them, but it just seems like this Brown guy, they're raising hell about him now. Now, if the police tell you to stop, I'm looking at a video last night, a young boy, about 16 years old. The police, he was riding his bike on the sidewalk. The police stops him and say, listen, I'm gonna give you a ticket. Well, he can't, he don't want the ticket because the ticket, and he kept calling the white police officer the N-word. What's wrong with you, N? What's wrong with you? I mean, the woman 5'2", she couldn't handle him. The only way she was going to handle that young man was shoot him. Okay, that's one of the reasons why I'm against little bitty women on the police force. You got nothing to do. You can't handle me. So only thing you got to do is shoot a brother. Okay. Although some men kind of wimpy too, and they do the same thing. But a man has a better chance of handling another man than a 5'2" woman does. I love you. Don't get me wrong. But a 5'2" woman ain't gonna handle me. I don't care if she know karate. That ain't gonna happen. Okay. That ain't gonna happen. So we need to have a height requirement to be policemen again. Okay, and maybe we could stop some of this shooting and all of this stuff with people. But sometimes I'm kind of like Clint Eastwood, shooting's all right, as long as the right people getting shot. But I don't know. We see in America to use a lot of bullets on shooting people, citizens. Whew. Good morning. Who's this? Yes, man. I don't know. Your phone. I can't. Yeah. He's doing fine. Mm. Mm. Well, hopefully y'all get it. Yeah. Are you voting today? No. Okay. What? Well. Mm. And again, I listen. I agree. I think that it is time now to see conspicuous change in our communities, and we really don't see the only conspicuous change I see is in the highfalutin communities around here. So there certainly needs to be a change, and hmm. Mm. Yeah, 91. Yeah, 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 that's true. I guess they think they're doing something. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, yes, ma'am. Mm. I understand. Okay. Hey, gotta go. Okay, appreciate it. I gotta go to a break. We'll be back.
This report is sponsored by Identity Theft Protection. Identity thieves love fax forms with personal info needed to steal your identity. That's why LifeLock helps protect, monitor, and restore your identity. No one can monitor all transactions at all businesses, but you can save up to 25% 25% off your first year at lifeblock.com. Promo code RACE.
Very warm temperatures for the next 3 days and staying dry. Today will start in mid and upper 50s. Will be partly cloudy today. There will be more sun than clouds overall, but we'll have a little more cloud cover than we did on Monday. Temperatures up around 85 or so. 85 or 86 should do it for Wednesday and Thursday as well. Partly cloudy Wednesday after a cloudy morning. Then for Thursday, partly cloudy as well. Again, we're dry until a chance of rain and storms for Friday. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Right now, looking pretty good. One accident here in town reported by the authorities. That's High Street at Union. And now there's an accident 85 southbound just past shorter exit number 22. So watching this one, 85 southbound at just past shorter exit 22. 567 9000.
Messing.
Refinance your home mortgage, get cash out, or to get pre-approved to buy. MCS and Company, NMLS 232876. Buckle up for Montgomery Skywatch traffic. This is Major Delay.
For all your auto maintenance and repair needs, Chico's knows. Chico's Auto Pros now offers a full-service automotive center. Call Chico's today at 239-9510. Chico's knows.
Good morning, I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News. Today marks 10 years since a deadly tornado outbreak devastated Alabama. More than 200 Alabamians died that day, and we want to remind you about our special hearing tonight. It's entitled April 27th, The Unforgotten Tragedy. Take a look back at one of the worst tornado outbreaks in Alabama history. You can watch that tonight at 7, right here on WSFA 12 News. A special runoff election will be held today in Montgomery to fill the open District 3 City Council seat. Marsha Johnson will face Adrian Larkin, who will see vacating when her husband Tracy Larkin died in January. And we have candidate and local polling information in this story on the WSFA 12 News app. And President Biden is expected to announce new federal mask guidance today. There are expected to be some recommendations for those who are vaccinated and those who are not. That's the news for now. I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News.
Depression is a daily battle, but there is a new weapon to help you fight depression: transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS. TMS is an innovative FDA-approved therapy for patients with severe depression. TMS is non-invasive and not a drug. It is a safe, effective, in-office procedure designed to activate natural functions in your brain's neurotransmitters. Find out if TMS is right for you. Contact IBH of Montgomery at 256-975-4162 or log on ibhus.com.
Oh, I've been McNeil. That includes your city. And we're celebrating the beautiful weather of spring. Enjoy sunshine, warmer weather, and the satisfaction of a all-American snack. Get 2 packs of Golden Flake tubers for only 99 cents. And get an 8-ounce Coke in the vintage bottle for only 99 cents. Pour some peanuts in your Coke and celebrate the ultimate spring snack. United Food, home of the 99-cent special. And quality up here, my clean Citgo gasoline.
I can't believe it. Susie has so much energy at 16.
Yep, she's my buddy. Makes me look forward to coming home after a hard day.
Are you still feeding her Nutrina dog food?
Yes. Did you know that most Nutrina dog food is made right here in Montgomery? Plus, it's only a little over $17 for a 50-pound bag.
I like that Nutrina has different types for maintenance, high energy, high protein, and compression for the working dog.
Visit Randy at Prattville Farm Center, 1154 South Memorial Drive. Call 365-5400, 365-5400.
Hi, I'm Queen Latifah. Even with heart failure, my mother remained strong.
Because without strength, you lose hope. Together, we will rise above heart failure.
To help prevent, improve, or manage heart failure, go to riseabovehf.org.
The Rush Limbaugh Show.
And these people look absolutely pathetic.
After Rick and Bubba, it's the EIB Network at 11 a.m. And it's only on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
What about this overcrowded land?
Okay, we are back. Good morning, everybody. Well, interesting day so far. Let's go to the phone. Somebody waiting for everything, so let's get them on the phone. Good morning. Good morning there. Well, I'm doing okay. I woke up on this side of heaven, so I have no complaints. That's right. Mm-hmm.
About the non-lethal choices rather than using the bullet, using the gun, using deadly force. That's why I keep saying just change the mission.
Well, I don't know.
Come in and be a recovery team.
Well, let me ask you something, Steve. Listen, I got you, but you don't, in your own heart of hearts, don't think sometimes we shoot too many people.
Out of how many million?
Well, 330 million.
Every year, 1,000 people are shot by law enforcement of all races.
Yeah.
That's pretty good percentage now.
Unless you happen to be one of them.
Accidents, because somebody goes across the center line, they're not paying attention. People, but when you're dealing, and see, this is part of the problem, is that when we retrain the police, we need to retrain society. And every kid ought to take a course in school, just like driver's ed, what happens when the police stop you. And this is how you should respond. And I not agree with them. You may not think you're supposed to get a ticket or you're not supposed to be stopped, but you have an avenue, and it's called a court. And you can address it there.
But now we do realize, now I hear you, but the chance of winning in court, especially if you're poor, is almost incalculable of you winning. I mean, that's just what it is. That's a cash court. I mean,
them win, and I've sat there and I've seen them win on DUI cases, and I've seen them win on speeding cases. I've seen where the officer was wrong, whether the officer made a judgment error. But all I'm saying is you're going to have another event. And it's just like, where do kids learn to stay on their phones?
Yeah, well, that's true too. Yeah.
Phones, and then they mirror that behavior. It's the same thing. Why, when people want to jump on the referees at the football game, raise hell, come out of the stands, attack the referees, talk to the school security officers, the ones that are retiring out now, the ones that are leaving. Talk to some of them, Mayor, and they'll tell you that the discipline factor in school,
it's a big deal.
And so when they get out on the streets, when they move into adulthood, that's going to continue until there's some type of corrective behavior. An individual that they don't have any respect for the teacher. So why are they going to have respect for a person in uniform?
I hear you, but I guess, let me ask something. Is there any way to make that, first of all, we don't want to get rid of guns from the police, okay? We want our police to have a gun, because the crooks carried a little bit of everything, and I got that. But can't that taser be strengthened a little bit more or something? It just seemed like to me, now the brown guy that everybody's talking about now, evidently he got in his car, put his hands on top of the steering wheel, and backed the car up as if it was leaving. I don't know what he did that for, and they shot him in the back of the head. Now, I wasn't there, don't know. I understand police got it, because a car is a deadly weapon. Okay, if you point it toward a police officer or you head it toward them. I understand why they do what they do, but sometimes it does seem like to me that deadly force, we were one step below that. I mean, if a man don't have a gun, okay, our police should be trained, and he's not in the vehicle, Our police should be trained in hand-to-hand combat techniques where they ought to be able to bring anybody down. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, and how much do you want to spend, and how much do you want to spend? And when they go through the police academy now, they have to be given all this stuff, and they've only got 18 weeks to 22 weeks, 24 weeks, depending on the academy, and then they're out there on the street making life and death situations with a gun in their hand. And used to, you had a veteran training officer to give them guidance and direction. Now you got a 1 year with a 2 year. The system's broken. It's got to be fixed.
Well, maybe we should do what Demopolis is doing. They're paying $5,000 bonuses to certify police and firemen. So I guess they're trying to get Montgomery's. Yes.
You can not have discipline in the schools. You can not have respect for teachers or referees or any of that stuff, and you see what you get.
Okay, let me ask you a question. It seems we've done away with the height and weight standards on our police force. A 5'2" woman should not be on the police force. Agree or disagree? Or a man, a 5.2 man, they don't need to be on the police force.
If you're able to control somebody through non-physical means, but and it's going to happen, somebody's going to grab a hold of you. And if they're crazy enough to grab a hold of a policeman with a gun strapped on their side, they're crazy enough to kill you.
True.
You're going to have to stand ground
and shoot them. To do that. Right. All right. I appreciate it. Good morning. Who's this? Fine.
Good. I agree with you. The last caller about the training police or training the kids to do like they should when police stop.
Mm-hmm.
But I also agree. I also think that policemen should have to watch at least 100 hours of Andy Griffin.
Well, there may be something to that. They never had to shoot anybody.
And I do believe in timeout. I raised 2 boys and a bunch of nieces and nephews,
mm-hmm.
and I do believe in timeout. Take time out, stop doing what I'm doing to correct them with my belt.
I understand. I believe that too. Yeah. Ooh, almost, yeah. Yeah, they do. yeah, they do. Hey, I bet, yeah. Yeah, I bet he won't either. Pain is a great motivator. That's right.
To put mine wherever they acted up at. I put my belt on them, or put my hand on them, whatever it's on the behind. I don't believe in hitting them on the head and hitting them with an open fist unless they're grown. Now, once they turn 16, like a man, then I treat them.
You treat them like a man. That's right. That's right. That's right.
22, and I guarantee you right now, you can walk up to either one of them and say, if they're doing something wrong, and say stop it, they will stop. I promise you they will.
That's good.
There's no reason that these kids is acting the way they act. Now, for the policeman go, the guy was on the sidewalk,
right,
or a phony $20 bill, or somebody selling cigarettes outside of a store, there ought to be enough crime bigger than that to solve all of that stuff first, big stuff, and then come back on this sidewalk stuff.
Yeah, but the problem is that one kid, again, it's like the panhandling thing. If you allow one thing to fester, then that breeds other things and other things and other things.
Until we stop this big bad stuff, And I think we ought to, work on that first.
Okay. All right. Hey. All right. Appreciate it. Good morning. Who's this? Yes.
Your previous caller, he has all the solutions. You need to find a solution to that pollution he's pouring out, because he's talking about having a course in school for that. Well, black people need it because the white people aren't being treated the same way when they're pulled over. Now, Kevin, yourself, when the police pull you over, do you get nervous?
Man, it's been so long. I used to get nervous, because, well, first of all, you never know what's going to happen when it's dark. so that's why.
I have a lot of white friends. They don't get nervous at all when the police pull them over.
Yeah, I can't say that it is a concern of mine, police. I get irritated, especially when I think that I didn't do anything. I'm like everybody else. What you stopped me for? But I don't get scared. Yeah, I guess I'm beyond that time. I don't get scared. Since that one ass whooping I took in North Carolina, motivated me to just shut up.
Don't you teach your son how to behave?
Sure.
Do you think white people teach their children how to behave?
I think they do. Well, wait a minute. Now I've seen, yeah. I've seen. Okay, can I ask you a question and you be absolutely honest with me? I know some people ain't gonna like this, but will you be honest with me? When we go in these people's stores too often, we steal it. Okay. Well, then let the white people steal. We don't have to go in there and steal. We already got one thing against us. We do a lot of stealing in these people's businesses. No. Let them steal. Okay, I'm with you. But that don't mean we got to go in there and steal. Well, we're not. Okay, we're not. Listen, culture, whatever you want to call it. There's a we different, but we act differently too. But then let them act differently. I'm just telling you, we don't get the same. We don't get the same. Unfortunately, we still live in America. We don't get the same privilege that other people get. Culture, color. Because I'm not going to put it all on color. I think it's cultural. We go in there and raise hell at somebody's store. You got to pay the black tax. Now I will admit to you, I don't really see too many white folks raise hell in people's store, but we do it every day somewhere. I've seen it in person. I've seen it at Walmart. I've seen it at Waffle House. I've seen a lot of places. Okay, well, I just went there that time and I didn't see it, but I don't doubt that it happens. But again, it is what it is. You just can't. I can't go on Facebook without us got guns all pointed at somebody, and we think that's cool. We can't. Culture. Well, I don't, because we've allowed it without discipline. Because too many. Well, wait a minute. That same media was around when I was a kid. I didn't do all that. Well, but they have it. We let them buy it, and you can only sell what somebody's willing to buy.
Well, they go hand in hand. Selling it, we'll stop buying it. But remember, we're talking about children.
And I hear you, but it's still our job. My son put a tape in my CD player. One Emmanuel did put in CD player. I threw that thing far out the window. I didn't care if I got a ticket for loitering. That piece of trash was going out my car. He wasn't ever going to listen to it again with me around. Yeah. Let me cogitate on that. I gotta go. We'll be back. Mm. Mm. No, can't say that I did.
Of the kindness revolution. My wife and I enjoyed a wonderful dinner last week with friends we hadn't seen in a long time. The next day, I sent a text message letting them know how much we enjoyed being with them. That same day, we received a handwritten note, which they delivered to our mailbox, letting us know how much they had enjoyed our dinner, along with an article we had discussed. That note and that effort means a lot to me, and it should. The fact they had taken the time to write and deliver a heartfelt note sure made my little text message seem somewhat indifferent. In today's high-tech, low-touch world, how refreshing it is to get a thoughtful, handwritten note once in a while. Well, it's enough to inspire me. I'm ordering stationery and getting in the handwritten note business today, and I hope I can make someone's world a little kinder. To learn more, check us out at thekindnessrevolution.net.
Many of the locally owned and operated restaurants you love are staying open to serve you during this difficult time. To find a list of these restaurants, visit newsradio1440.com. Eat local and help our local businesses stay open.
You know, according to statistics, research from Boston University has shown that while a majority of total victims of police violence are white, multiple studies have found that police violence disproportionately affect people of color. And I think therein lies the question, and somebody wrote me a letter, said, Black police officers go through the same training. Why is it that it seems that they're not involved in as many shootings as white police officers are? I think that is a dynamic that needs to be studied. Is there a class of culture? Is that why that is? I don't know, but I think Dr. Richard Bailey, who is the utmost historian of Montgomery, said that they did a study. Hold on, I'm coming right to the phones. They did a study, and they have shown that people under the age of 45, okay, don't really care about race. But they did say people of the age of 65 and older are still somewhat in that race mentality. So what happened between the people between 45 and 65? That's a lost group right there. I guess we haven't really studied, and they are on the cusp of trying to figure out which way to go. But why is it? Why is it that I think it's culture? I think there is the lack of fathers, and I'm just saying, it's in my mind, and the lack of Black fathers that are involved with their children have not given them the discipline it needs in order to deal with authority. That's because if there aren't too many 65-year-old police officers, okay, and everybody is below probably 45 or 50, somewhere around that time. So what is the big difference? I think that needs to be studied. Good morning on there. Good morning on there. Yes, ma'am. Okay, I do it. Miss Alma Sankey. Anybody knows Miss Alma Sankey can have her call Miss Fan. Good morning on there. Morning. Oh, I am. Mm. Yeah. And I won't disagree with that, but I don't believe the color issue is that big a deal here. Yeah, but that's on both. But that's on both. Yeah, but that's on both sides, though. That's on both sides. I mean, that's on both sides. And sometimes we use color when it's really culture or a philosophy or philosophical differences between people, but we can't somehow we aren't able to articulate that, and so it goes right back to color. It's really not color. Good morning. It may be so, but I don't think it is. I didn't say it wasn't here. I'm saying, but it's not to the extent that people say it is. Again, because I disagree with your philosophy, because I disagree with your take on things, doesn't make me dislike you because you are in color. Democrats and Republicans are more philosophically opposed to one another. Huh? Often, 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 every other day. But again, then why don't they ask me about some of my friends? I got friends that don't. But again, well, you can use up your time now. Well, that was a guy. Well, no. One was a black guy from Michigan. A black guy, a black state congressman. Yeah, I mean, they hear that, right? They hear that from everybody. They hear that from everybody. Yeah, because this is still America, and you got a right to say whatever the hell you want to say, just as long as you. Well, you better not. Then don't point your finger. Yeah, I saw one on a truck. Yeah, now I will tell you, I am concerned sometimes. Some of the things I've seen, some of the things I have seen white citizens do to police officers, and at the end of that video, they still walking. I do ask myself, but you know, yeah, yeah. I mean, listen, I don't know, brother. I don't know. I can't answer that question. Good morning. Yeah, pretty good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. Mm-hmm. Well, it's about the torso. I mean, yeah, yeah. That's what they. Mhm. Right. Mhm. Well, but they also said reasonable suspicion and reason. If you run, take off running when you get stopped by the police. That's reasonable suspicion. Right. They're just human like everybody else. Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's hope now. Take one more call, then my day is over. Good morning on there. Okay. All right.
You cannot change that. Whatever, when I meet you, I got to determine how do I feel about black folks. Because you're black. You know, unless you're going to do like this guy did, you know, that changed himself to black so he could, you know, you heard that book, Black Like Me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You heard of that book?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard. I got to run. Time's up. We'll talk more tomorrow. Good Lord says the same. Anyway, my time is up. Interesting conversation today. I appreciate you guys for participating. I learned a couple things. Okay, I'm lying. I really didn't learn much of anything, but I appreciate your perspective.
News update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning. I'm Tanya for WSFA 12 News. Today marks 10 years since a deadly tornado outbreak devastated Alabama.